Jeff and Taylor.
You are going to fail and bomb and gag and fail and bomb.
Yalla, let's go.
Welcome back to Middays with Mannix and Mannix on the Big Jab 92.5 and 96.3. Our final hour of the show. Hobbs and Eli take over after us at 2 o'clock. But right now, Monday at 1 means it's time for Talkin' Football with former college football coach Malik Hall, who joins us on the line once again. Malik, how are you on this Monday? We're in Super Bowl week finally.
Oh, man, I'm biting at the bit from watching all of the Americans games, getting caught up on my Super Bowl history, and having to watch that Pro Bowl. I'm excited and ready to roll.
I bet. First off, I guess just to kind of put the finishing touches on the Pro Bowl, I mean, I do remember a day back when the Pro Bowl looked like an actual football game, but, I mean, that looked like a practice you would run out on a Tuesday to me.
You know, it's that's exactly what it was, and I'm not too old or too young to remember the Patriots had a running back that was a pretty good running back, young kid who got hurt in a Pro Bowl.
Yep.
And Sean Taylor icing a punter in a Pro Bowl. Those two Pro Bowl moments, I remember like. I think that has changed the NFL Pro Bowl forever. Contracts are not guaranteed. Losing a career for really a celebratory game, I completely get it. They basically had a whiz tempo moment. I used to love the skills and drills. I missed it this time around. But yeah, man, it's tough because football is such a collision sport. And we don't break it up in the mid-season because it would also hurt the final product of the Super Bowl, much like hockey and the other All-Star games. But that was pretty painful and hard to watch. But I was glad to see the camaraderie, if nothing else.
Well, I was going to say, and with that being said, what are there some things that you think, I mean, we talked about how some of these other leagues have made it just a little bit more competitive. What are some things that you think the NFL could do to at least make strides to get this game? I mean, even Deion Sanders was like, and Coach, I mean, Deion Sanders, I love the hell out of the guy. So anytime he speaks about football, I try to listen to him because I think he knows a lot. And when he was even saying, you know, when we went in there was at least like pride. You know, like you were there because you were the best and you wanted to showcase to the world that you're the best. And I feel like, again, it's just kind of become a running joke now. Even the players see it as such. What do you think the NFL has to do, and what do you think would be some good things that could improve this game for the fans?
You know, I think they definitely have to go to the drawing board and sit at the table and really evaluate what they want out the game, what our fans want out the game, and what the players are willing to give into that game. I agree. Back in the day, if you made the game, you were trying to separate yourself from the best of the best, right? Today, and I also think the 90 pro NFL, those guys were they cut their teeth the old way, and they also brought in a new wave of money that football was birthed into for athletes or brought to athletes. So in one end, I think the athlete today, they're making business decisions. You see it starting from bowl games. You know, if you want a senior to play in a bowl and he's going to potentially be a top round pick, that bowl better be very meaningful because if he gets hurt, he's no longer that pick. And so the implications on what was once more not just money, but just a good product, is a lot of money involved. And now I think they have to find that sweet spot from entertainment and not watering down the product, and giving the fans something to watch in this in-between time between the Super Bowl.
Would it make sense to do something like it could, because certainly with nobody tackling yesterday, it didn't make a whole lot of sense to have pads on. So just take the pads off, either play two-hand touch 7-on-7 or flag 7-on-7. Do you think that would make more sense?
Yeah, I think at some point the NFL. I also remember the NFL has been trying to crack this Rubik's Cube for a while.
Yeah.
Because they did have that. One kid got hurt on the sand. Remember in Hawaii?
Lawrence Maroney, yeah.
Yeah, there was a space where they were trying to find ways to entertain the fan and make it fun, but not put the athlete in harm's way. Just the nature of football, man, is very hard to do. You know, because even if you put them in a 7-on-7, if the a post ball is thrown and the safety or corner contest it, somebody can potentially come down hurt. And so I think because we watch these guys play a long season, and at the end of it, we still thirst for a little bit more. Their bodies are beat to all outdoors, and to say I'm going to go roll it out there one more time and I got a sore quad, I got a torn labrum, like me playing for the Super Bowl, yeah, that's different. But for me to go out here and maybe hurt myself a little bit more or do something unnecessary, I think they have to figure it out. And I think they've been trying, guys. Over the years, they've done a lot of different things, just nothing is stuck.
Yeah, I'm at the point now. I just think they got to just kind of throw the whole game away and just kind of stick with the skills competition. Because I think if you stuck with it, and you know what, and tell me what you think about this, Malik. Because you know how for instance, the Senior Bowl is the same week as this, right? Why don't you have all the participants of the Senior Bowl compete against the NFL Pro Bowlers in skills competitions?
You know, I think that's a great idea. Also, I thought you were going to say have some of the Pro Bowlers coach up those Senior Bowl teams.
But that too, right? That goes within line, like, right? They can compete against them while, spending a week with them.
Coach them up, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's a great idea. Just for the record, since we are on CBS or affiliates, hey, just as long as y'all cut me in on that when it goes, you know what I mean? I'll be all set.
Right. Whenever someone picks up that idea.
But you're onto something to where give the kids who are going into the NFL an opportunity to get a genuine Q&A from a Pro Bowler,
right,
to get coached up by a Pro Bowler, and then do a little quick skills and drills of competing, because now each athlete can temperament what they can do in skills and drills. Mm-hmm. And I think that will be appealing to the fan base to really kind of have an idea of who's going in the draft before Mel Kiper gets a hold of them. And it'll also give the players that are still in the NFL an idea on what's coming out.
Yeah.
And they already know their jobs are threatened, but it kind of makes it more of a community and mentor versus mentee relationship before they even get in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, really interesting ideas there. All right, let's turn our attention to the Super Bowl now, because we do have the big game coming up in Los Angeles this weekend, Rams against Bengals. I'm just interested first in, I guess, your overall take on the matchup. Where do you think this is a close game? Do you think it's a lopsided game? And then maybe we can start breaking it down from there.
Yeah, guys, I'll start by saying that the Rams, when you look at this team, the Rams, you got to say, like, they're the team that should pull this off. And then once I say that and I look into all of the names that the Rams have, they have, Kupp, who has think about this, guys. He has 145 catches. He'll have 150 catches before it's done. Mm-hmm. Right? And then you have Odell, who has 30-plus catches by just getting there. They're running back by committee. The New England fan base knows Sony Michel. They have Henderson, and then they got Matt Stafford. Like, offensively, this is you can see how they put the team together, not to mention their X factors. So on one end, I struggle to see how the Bengals are going to beat these guys. But that would be disrespectful to watching the Bengals continually pull off the only people that feels is an upset is non-Cincinnati Bengals fans, one, okay, and Cincinnati. Because they have gone into every game. In my head, I feel like, look, Burrow was hot in the wild card. I didn't think they would get that done. They did. They got it done. And then they go and keep getting it done. They beat the Chiefs ultimately. And I'm saying to myself, if I didn't have any idea how the Bengals were going to beat the Chiefs because they were loaded. And I'm saying to myself, well, hey, if you're the Bengals, guys, copy-paste the game plan. Let's rock and roll because no one had us to beat the Chiefs. As talented and as name-struck as the Chiefs are, the Rams match that same type of stardom. I think with Joe Shotgun Burrow being back there to settle the troops, this is going to be a good game. I think it'll be a game for the ages, and I hope they get it done for Big Boomer Esiason, Chris Collins, all those guys back in the day I watched lose to Joe Montana. This is that same kind of vibe in my head. Like, star power, the Rams should have it. And you guys correct me if I'm wrong here. Their last meeting was 2019 in October.
I think you're right on that. I'll check it.
So if that's true, I couldn't find it, and I had a hard time believing that. But if that's true, the Bengals lost to them 10-24. Neither one of those teams are the same team today. But that's the same type of score that I see going down. I see like a 24-14, 24-21 kind of game. But I got the Bengals getting it done, and with that one possession or a half a possession swing.
Yeah, and I did just find it, by the way. The last game the two teams played was in London during the 2019 season with the Rams beating the Bengals 24-10.
How about that? And guys, like we know, there was a lot going on then as it was now, and those two ball clubs have re-engineered their rosters to some degree, and they're in the Super Bowl because of it.
Yeah, well, I want to talk about kind of the way that the Rams did that. The Rams completely sold out everything. They went all in, and now they're in the Super Bowl again. No first-round draft picks, I believe, till 2024. So do you think now, especially if LA is able to get over the hump, take down the Cincinnati Bengals, do you think we'll start to see maybe more teams, especially this offseason when there's talks of a lot of movement with quarterbacks? If the Rams are able to complete this, I wonder, is there going to be maybe a domino effect of teams who are in the same positions the Lions were in with that star quarterback? Hence, I'm talking about Seattle, obviously, Texans, yada. Do you think more teams will maybe take this approach of, well, heck, as long as I, commit to the now, I can win a championship?
Listen, and excuse the analogy, guys, but, trades in the NFL is a lot like dating. It just has to – we have to see it the same way sometimes. The Lions were in a space where I think the Lions wanted to offload Matty a year beforehand, but it just didn't behoove them. It didn't work. You got to have it all wired to where it's aligned for the marriage to work out. And in this case, and Jared Goff wasn't great, and who would have thought that they were going to try to offload Goff considering they went to the Super Bowl with him? That was not the thought. And so you also have a idea that they're digging through the analytics on a level that I think, the basic fan just is not interested in, to be quite honest. We're interested in it working. And so in my head, I only can think of a few teams who made major trades or shifts in the mid-season, and it worked out for them. And we're in one of those regions. The Pats did it with Randy Moss, and what a year! Who thought they were gonna lose? Nobody. I still feel that way about the Rams. Like they should not lose, but they're messing with a gritty team who knows the deck is stacked against them. It seems like Joe Burrow was as cool as he wanted to be after winning. Like, yeah, we're going to the Super Bowl. I'm like, bro, you've never been there. You're not Tom Brady, are you? Like, but we might be watching greatness unfold in front of us. And we know Matt is on the back nine of his career. So if he doesn't get it done, they roll that they risk a lot to get here and to win it, not just to get here. They've been here. And so I think they knew they was missing a quarterback piece. I thought they had some great offensive weapons on the outside already, but adding Odell kind of doubles down in that they have some people they can just access the ball to and he get busy.
Who do you think has the advantage on defense in the game? I know a lot's been made about Cincinnati's offensive line going up against that really tough Rams pass rush, but which team do you think has the better defensive unit overall?
It's the Rams. It's the Rams, hands down. I think what we watched the offensive weapons of Cincinnati do to get here. You got to think them playing the Chiefs, they were very calculated, and they showed an overall game plan on how to win the game in a small possession and be trailing. And so I think for me, I think that same similar game plan, listen, let's manage the first end of this game so it's not a shootout. Let's not have Donald and Von Miller start getting after Burrow early, so let's hand the ball off and kind of make them play the run, play action it a little bit so we can get the ball up the middle of the field. I think the tight end is going to play. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think he's playing. CJ is playing. I think he is a definite threat. The other guy that I love T. Higgins, man. This dude is 6'4", 200 pounds. Like, he shows up, but they have to be creative in how they get the ball downfield. Because if not, I think that defensive line will be, licking their chops to get to that bone.
And you mentioned you think it's probably going to be a one-possession game. What aspect of the game do you think is going to push the Bengals over the top? Is it forcing a turnover? Is it getting a big kick from McPherson? Or is it just Joe Burrow making a play? There it is. It's McPherson.
You know it. Listen, look, if it's one thing we can say that's been consistent in this playoffs is the kickers have been all of what they've been paid, right? Because you only notice the kicker when he misses. And when he misses, chances are it hurts. Even if it's extra point, okay? So I think that'll be the swing. And I expect some defense to be played at, for early in the playoffs. We spoke to it a few weeks ago. Those overtime rules, like it had you feeling like, oh, guys, we need more football. But you forgot the next week, the next 2 weeks, the next two games, there were situations where the defense had to make plays to win the game or get them to the Super Bowl. And they did. So I think the defense is going to play a major factor. I would be shocked if the Cincinnati offense really tried to just air it out like they did with Buffalo. I think that's a different team, a different ball club, and they pounded on them too. So it'll be interesting. I'm excited to see how this all unfolds. But I think that defensive line and that secondary the Rams have is going to be something that the Cincinnati Bengals are going to have to be strategic in their placement of that ball.
But ultimately, you think the Bengals win the game. Can you give us a score?
Yeah, I love it. I like 24-21 Bengals on a field goal, getting down there last little bit of the game, seeing Joe Burrow pull it off, and make his mark in Super Bowl history.
So that would mean Evan McPherson would kick not one, not two, not three, but 4 playoff game-winning field goals at the end. That would be something.
Hello. I think what did Adam Vinatieri only did, 3?
Adam Vinatieri hit 2 to win Super Bowls, but yeah, I mean, he what was it? Obviously the winning kick in the Snow Bowl game, the Tuck Rule game too. So yeah, he had a few over the course of his career for sure. Malik Hall, former college football coach, thanks so much for joining us and talking football again. Can't wait to talk to you about what happened in the Super Bowl here a week from today.
Hey guys. post your Super Bowl recipe dishes. You got to get that down, too. This is just as important as the game, okay, guys? So keep it local with local products.
All right. Thanks so much. Malik Hall, former college football coach, Penn, UMass, Bates, amongst others. We will take a quick timeout. We'll be right back. It's Middays with Mannix and Mannix.